Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today, we've got a story that might just send shivers down your spine. We're diving into the recent cybersecurity breach involving none other than the White House itself. That's right. If you thought your phone was at risk, wait till you hear what happened to Trump's chief of staff, Susie Wiles. Okay, let's set the scene. Susie Wiles, the chief of staff to former President Trump, discovers something straight out of a thriller. Her personal phone, holding who knows how many contacts, think high-level government officials, the real power players in Washington, gets hacked. Can you imagine waking up to find out someone's been rummaging through your contact list? That's exactly what happened here. Now, let's take a second and think. If you had the contact list of the chief of staff to the president, what would you do? Well, these hackers weren't content to just skim through some phone numbers. They took it a step further. Not only did they access those contacts, but then, get this, they reached out, pretending to be Susie Wiles herself. Wild, right? But it gets even stranger. These impersonators didn't just fire off simple texts. Nope. They used AI to mimic Wiles' actual voice in phone calls. Imagine getting a call that sounds like your colleague or your boss, but it's a computer on the other end spinning a story. Plus, they sent text messages, but from a number that wasn't even Wiles. Suddenly, trusted government officials were getting calls and messages, all under her name and not knowing what was real. So, how did all this come to light? The Wall Street Journal was the first to dig into this incident. Soon after, CBS News jumped in and confirmed what was going on. The breach was real and very serious. Meanwhile, the White House is, unsurprisingly, taking this situation very seriously. Their spokesperson, Anna Kelly, was asked by TechCrunch whether they had figured out if Wiles' cloud account was compromised or if there was a more sophisticated cyber attack at play, like government-grade spyware. But you know how it is, they're keeping their cards close and not revealing too much just yet. What we do know is that investigations are full steam ahead, and the White House is focusing on protecting the cybersecurity of all their staff. Here's a question for you. How safe do you think your digital life is? If even the top government brass can get hacked by people smart enough to imitate voices and contact lists, what does that mean for the average person? Let me know what you think in the comments. Seriously, I want to hear your thoughts about just how wild the situation is and how you'd react if someone tried to mimic your voice through AI. But stay with me, because there's more. Believe it or not, this isn't Susie Wiles' first run-in with hackers. In 2024, there was another attempt. This time, Iranian hackers reportedly tried to break into her personal email account. Talk about not catching a break! And, according to the Washington Post, the hackers actually succeeded, gaining access to information, including a full dossier on then-Vice President J.D. Vance. That's some serious digital espionage. And just when you thought things couldn't get more tangled, let's talk about early 2024, when things got even messier in the Trump administration. In March, former National Security Advisor Michael Waltz accidentally added a journalist to a private Signal chat group. Imagine that. One wrong tap, and now your top secret messages about military operations are in a group with someone from the press. Yikes! But wait, it gets better, or worse, depending on how you look at it. It turns out these officials weren't even using the regular Signal app. They were using a clone called TeleMessage. The idea? It was supposed to keep copies of all the communication for government archiving. Only problem. That app got hacked not once but twice. The hackers managed to reveal the contents of those private messages. Think about that for a second. The very tools put in place to keep their conversations secure actually ended up being their Achilles heel. At this point, you might be thinking, how does stuff like this keep happening at such a high level? Is anyone safe in the digital world anymore? Let's be real. If trained professionals and government agencies can fall prey to these kinds of attacks, it's a wake-up call for everyone. Let's take a step back, though, and consider what all this really means. Yes, we're talking about high-stakes government drama and hacking, but this is more than just a headline. It's a reminder that digital security is crucial for all of us. So, how would you protect your own devices? Have you ever been the victim of an online scam or hack? Share your stories below. We'll stay tuned as the White House continues its investigation, but one thing's clear, cybersecurity is a game of constant cat and mouse, with the stakes higher than ever. If you want to stay informed and ahead of the curve when it comes to security, scandals, and the digital world, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. You definitely won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for listening, stay alert out there, and I'll catch you in the next one.